All life is dependent on water for its existence, and water in Egypt means the Nile. The great river flows from south to north, and Aswan definitively marks the southern border of the sacred land of Kemet. Geographically, Aswan sits right above the Tropic of Cancer, which is right where the first cataract lies, meaning no boat can sail beyond this point. Flowing uninterrupted from Aswan to the Mediterranean, the fertile waters of the Nile nourish Egypt's physical body, while its vital body is quickened by the spiritual Nile. Thus, Aswan represents the source of spiritual life in Egypt. The landscape and geology of the first cataract is dramatically different from anywhere else in Egypt, consisting of massive outcrops of granite, black, white or speckled grey, and red, the three colors of alchemy, and those still used today in the Egyptian flag. Granite is a slightly radioactive volcanic stone consisting largely of quartz, feldspar, and mica, and was used extensively in Egyptian architecture and sculpture. The ancients were completely aware of the energetic and healing properties of all stones and minerals, so their use of them was consciously chosen specifically for the spiritual purpose of every work they carved. The nature of granite is clearly of fire, and the massive boulders that form the cataract are in direct contact with the sacred river. Hence, fire and water are physically united at this symbolic source of the Nile. The creation myths begin in an infinitely vast and mysterious, unknowable void. For Egypt, these are the waters of Nu that lie beyond the first cataract in the land called Nubia, which also begins with Nu. When these waters expand and suddenly overflow to flood into the fertile valley of Egypt, they do so over the highly charged granite boulders, and are thereby vitalized by its fiery, active nature, which the Nile then carries throughout the entire body of Egypt. Superimposing a human body over the physical geography of Egypt reveals how the placement of the great teaching and healing centers corresponds to the 7 major chakras, known today mainly through the Indian teaching. The flow of the Nile from south to north represents the ascending stream of Kundalini, with Aswan corresponding to the root chakra, associated with the color red. This root chakra is located at the base of the spine and is said to house the 8 primary cells that contain all the knowledge of creation. They are also the only cells in the body that remain completely unchanged throughout its entire lifetime. One function of the base chakra is to draw down spiritual energy to give it a physical existence and provide the potential for the evolution of form. The divine spirit has its origin far above our human level and descends upon mankind, entering the physical body through the appropriately named crown before flowing down to the base chakra at the lowest tip of the spine. This is the descent of spirit into matter. However, man's spiritual progress entails the reascending journey from that lowest point up through the successive stages that lead back to the divine source of origin. Ptah is the principal Egyptian netter associated with the Memphite creation myth. More specifically, he is raw energy brought down to earth, the power to physically embody the divine spirit in matter. In the sacred language, Ptah is written with the hieroglyphs P-T-H. The word Hotep is the reversal of these letters, H-T-P, or more commonly, this hieroglyph. And just as Ptah means the divine spirit descending into matter, Hotep is the return of that spirit from matter to its source of origin. Hence, the rising energy of Kundalini is called Hotep in the Egyptian teaching.
When spirit descends and takes form in matter, it materializes. Thus, the inner meaning of Ptah as the creator is that he has the power to materialize things. Conversely, the inner meaning of Hotep is the power to dematerialize things, to return them to their true spiritual state. One example of this in nature is death, whereby the body dematerializes and the spirit returns to its original state.
But Hotep as a power is the ability to eliminate matter where it is not wanted, as in sculpture, and Egypt specialized in working with stone. The name Amenhotep means the hidden power, Amun, of dematerialization, Hotep, which explains how the Egyptians made so many of their sculptures, tombs, and temples. Raw, vital energy is the very essence of Aswan. It is felt in the dynamic presence of the Nile, in the huge granite boulders, in the dazzling blue sky, and in the vibrant energy of the people there. While the life-giving water of the physical Nile and the black silt it brings with the annual flood are the source of vitality for all biological life in the land, the metaphysical Nile is the vital lifeblood for the spirit of man. And in Egypt, its spiritual source is Aswan, where the dynamic fusion of fire and water creates the volatile alchemical mixture necessary for the long upward journey leading back to the divine source.